It is one of the biggest games of the club's recent history. Not since 1996 has Arsenal had a different manager standing on the touchline in a competitive fixture than Arsene Wenger. And now, 22 years later, change has finally come and a new era begins. And what a way for the new era to begin. Catch the latest episode of The Pain in the Arsenal podcast right here at Gunners, who toiled to a 6th-place finish last year and find themselves further behind their title rivals than ever before in the Premier League era. Host the champions, Manchester City, arguably the greatest team in the history of the very era that Wenger deemed to dominate. More from Pain in the Arsenal. And in welcoming City to the Emirates, Arsenal also welcome one of the greatest strikers in the Premier League era, perhaps the most natural, clinical goal scorer of his generation, Sergio Aguero. It begs the question, how do you actually stop the 200-plus goal Manchester City monster? It's not an easy question to answer. In 14 games against Arsenal in all competitions, Aguero has scored 8 goals. In 3 games against them last season, he scored twice, including the opening goal in the EFL Cup final as he eased Shkodran Mustafi under a booted goal kick to race through on goal and loop his finish into a gaping net. He has routinely caused great pain when playing against Wenger's sides. His movement, the speed of thought, the ruthlessness of his finishing. Sleep for just a second and the ball is in the back of the net. Asking the question of how to stop that seems like a futile one. How do you stop that? Well, perhaps the answer is that you don't. As Chelsea found out last weekend, if you allow Aguero to service from midfield, space and time in the penalty and opportunities to get shots off on goal, he will score. Lots. Want your voice heard? Join the Pain in the Arsenal team, write for us, so perhaps the best way to stop him is not to focus on Aguero at all, but rather try to shut down the service into him from the midfield. Even the best strikers in the world need good passes into their feet, accurate through balls in behind the defense, fizzing crosses to latch onto in the 6-yard box. They may be the ones that put the ball in the back of the net, but they need the opportunities to do so. They can't create them on their own. Next, Arsenal vs Manchester City, 5 key players to watch. It's not easy. Pep Guardiola's team is one of the best in the world. They the best that I have ever seen in this country, including the Invincibles. But Unai Emery needs to be brave. It may be the only way to stop one Sergio Aguero.